Man, it's speechless. You know, when I did it, I told Knife, like, you know, with all the mixtapes, like, you know, I hope it does this. You have expectations. I was like, with this one, you know, I don't want to have any expectations. You know, at the least, I just want people to like it and, you know, really get to know me and know the story. And, you know, to read the reviews and, you know, just some of the things that people are saying, like the response is incredible. Like it's a dream come true, especially for your first album, because you know I'm a fan of Jay and Mos and the Fugees, and all of their first albums were so instrumental in their career. So you know to have this one be the first step for me, I feel like you know it's a great start, and you know a good beginning in the journey. So I'm just I wake up happy every day and just ready to work. Like it just pushes me to go further. Um, it changed it before I even went. Ninth went before me. He and Vontae did a tour over there in April, and before he left, we were struggling to find you know a sound for the album. You know, we do a record, and I'd be like, "That's dope," but you know, I don't think that's not the sound. We were looking for like this real warm sound between the Miseducation and the score, something like that. You know, if Lauryn Hill had made a rap album, so that's where I grew up on, and you know, I just felt like that was me. So while he was over there, a video came on, and it was this artist named Nomza Mazwai. She's on the album 3 times, and he was just like, who is that? And you know, the girl whose house he saw it over, she told him. So he went and got the album, and he brought it back. And before they left, they were in the van, he and Vontae, in Soweto. And the girls, they were walking by holding hands. Like this is right before they were about to leave. He was like, hold up, and get out and take a picture. So they stopped the van so he can get out and take this picture. And you know, just thinking of the time and everything, and he sent it to me. He's like, "What do you think?" And we were thinking the same thing. I was like, "That's it." You know, I think you know that's it because you know she's dark skinned, she's bald, she doesn't have any hair, but she's cocking a pose like you know this is me. I'm comfortable. You know, I love it, and that's what I think. Music and just anything you do in life or how you dress, whatever in general, you should be yourself. You know, and be comfortable with that. And that's why we picked that picture and just the music, when he brought back Gnomes' album, we used 3 joints, and when we recorded those, that shaped everything else for it, because that was that warm sound we were looking for. So when I went back in August, you know, just to meet the people and go to Soweto and meet the little girls, like it was life-changing experience. You know, they appreciate things so much more, and you know, we're riding around the car and you hear all this warm, this good music on the radio, and it's just like, wow, you know, this is what I was missing. So it was definitely life-changing. Like, you know, I found me and I found myself just in that trip and in ninth going the first time. So, you know, that was South Africa for me. uh, ninth has always told me, like from the beginning, you know, some people show you the fun side of hip hop, Mac Miller, and some people show you, you know, the not so fun side, the dirty side. Let's say 50 Cent or whatever. He said you show people the beauty of hip hop. You know, just your passion for it and just the love for the culture. You show people that, and that hasn't been shown in a while. So we were gonna call it the Rat World at first, and I was like, I like it, but I don't think it really tells the story of me. He was like, well, let's come up with something different. And I was in Walmart one night, and I walked past the book section, and I was just, you know, looking through books. I wanted to buy a book, and I found one, and I opened it, and it said, to such and such, my idea beautiful. And I just stared at it for a minute, and I was like, that's it. You know, that tells everything of what I want to do with this record. You know, just really be me and focus on my storytelling and, you know, put the blinders on and not worry about what anybody else is doing or try to make it hit, but just tell my story. And you just have fun with the culture I love and make the music I love. So that's how I came up with the title. I took out the mind, put the, and that was it. Um, you know, to put the things that are important first. Culture to me encompasses so much, you know, like I said, family and community and, you know, just how different cultures, how you're raised and religion and different things you learn, you know, all of that makes you. And, you know, to put that over money and, you know, and materialistic things that come and go, because those are the things that, you know, we're built on and that, you know, that we stand on and those values and, you know, that they keep us in line. So, you know, that's what I mean. to have that as your foundation and let that guide you versus everything else that, that really isn't as important. Those things come and go, and, so that's what it kind of means to me, coach over everything. Mm-hmm. I've got that question a lot, and before I used to think like, I see both sides of it. I understand the female rapper thing. I understand that we are underrepresented, and you want somebody to represent you. So to be a female rapper is, it's like, you're our one, or, you represent us. But, I see it used so much in a negative way where it boxes you in, where, oh, you're good for a female rapper. Where do I stand compared to these other MCs that you like so much? Why am I different just because I'm a female? Because it's not like sports where you're physically different, like where, men can dunk all day and I can't. When it comes to music, it's all about creativity and everybody's on an even playing field. So, it just uses to box you in, and the bar is so low when you use femc or female rapper. It's like, I don't like her voice, or, female rappers can't rap. And it's like, where did you get that from? So the bar is so low, when you put that label on, it's just like labeling someone a backpack rapper. Your backpack rapper is, they put you in this box. You're only supposed to rap about, like Knife says, save the whales or save the world. And, being conscious can be being conscious about anything, just telling your story and being that. So that's why it's important just to be an MC, because one, that's what I am. I don't go around saying you boy rapper, or you Jew rapper, or you Muslim rapper, whatever. So, I think labels like that, they divide us so much, and they keep us away from each other. And together, if we come together and just do the labels, we could do so much. So, that's why it's important to me, just to build as one. Together we stand, divided we fall. And that's what labels do. They divide us, and we're not as strong when we're divided. And it hurts the culture, I think. Man, I was stuck. It happened so fast. I had met him before, and it was like another crazy thing where the timing of it was so crazy, because we met him coming off the elevator and they were getting on. And the same thing with this, me and Knife were running around all day, and we weren't going to go this place, and then we decided to go, and we had to wait for our passes, and we got downstairs and he came in no less than 10 minutes later. And had I been late or early, I would have missed him. But it just felt good. I've always played that moment or dreamed about it. Where would I meet him at, and how would I give him my music, and what it would be like, and just to put it in his hands, and for him to be like, hey, what's up, and remember me from the first time. And it was a good moment. Like I told Ninth, I was like, I don't want anything from him. If he listens, I'll be happy. Because those are people we grew up liking. Like, that's in music, that's one of my heroes. And from anybody, you just want them to give you that nod of approval, because it means so much. I remember Knife telling me the first time he talked to Pete Rock, and the first time he met DJ Premier, how much that meant to him, and nothing else really mattered like that moment. So that's kind of how it was for me, to be able to take my CD and put it in his hands, and he'd be like, all right, thank you. It's a priceless moment I'll never forget. Oh man, there's so many. Family, just family and love and community and sister and brotherhood, just just that interaction and everybody looking out. Like, I think that's beautiful. To create, that's beautiful. To make something out of nothing, or to turn something into something else. Man, I don't know, everything I come across, I find beauty in a sense. Whether it's music, family, friends, just everything, enjoying life, that's beautiful.